Well, good afternoon, my global scholars. It's just me checking in again. We had a great weekend. The weather was fantastic, eh? Hopefully, you guys were able to get your fishing poles out or your bicycles out and get outside and get some fresh air because this week does not look as promising, even some snow. Um, First off, thank you guys for all your hard work so far, especially last week's unit on terrorism. This week, we will be finishing up our major unit on conflict and cooperation, and we're going to end it on a happy note. So this week is on working together to build a better world. So it's not all sadness and despair. There are some good things going on in our world. This is probably the quickest unit or quickest section within this unit. Um, so the first part, we're going to learn a little bit about the United Nations, which was created after World War II to try to prevent any more world wars, and the United Nations Security Council. So there's just a few slides here, and then a checkpoint. The second section is peacekeeping. So in the 1950s, Lester B. Pearson kind of marked Canada on the map as a peacekeeping nation during the Suez Canal. Since then, we've been involved in many peacekeeping missions. Kosovo, one of the big ones was in Rwanda. And Canada still is active in peacekeeping missions around the world today. So this just kind of explains what peacekeeping and peacemaking is. And then a little 5-minute video on a mission that Canada, or on Canada's history of peacekeeping. Then just a quick little checkpoint there. The third section is NATO. So that's the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. And that's essentially a group of countries. This kind of shows a little bit about who is involved. And it's basically like a club where countries work together. They sign treaties. And if you were to threaten one member of NATO, you're picking on the whole group. So there's strength in numbers there. Then we're going to get into the role of individuals. So just like you guys are taking this course and even keeping up with your online learning, you're playing an active role in how we can make our world a better place. And we're also going to learn a little bit more about NGOs. NGOs are non-government organizations. Usually they're not for profit, and they tend to go into areas of the world that require some development. They do essentially volunteer and charitable work. And there's even NGOs on PEI, like the food bank would be an NGO. So we just talk a little bit about that, and then we'll look into the Nobel Peace Prize. So kind of what goes into winning the Nobel Peace Prize. So maybe one of you might win it one of these days down the road. When we talk about peacekeeping too, I put a link in here. This is just shows some different peacekeeping missions, and it's kind of cool. You can click on all the different blue helmets, and it'll take up the mission that is going on. You can click here, view mission. You can get more information on what's happening in that part of the world. Currently, there are 13 peacekeeping missions going on right now, and they're all kind of highlighted with these blue helmets. So this is kind of an interactive website. And then the final section is being a good country. So there's a longer video, an 18-minute TED Talk, and this guy has crunched the numbers and the data on what actually makes a country a good country and how they contribute in a positive way in the world. So I'd ask that you watch that one. And then your checkpoint. I also included the website with all the rankings of the study on what it takes to be a good country. And I'm not going to show you where Canada lands on the map, but I would like you to click on the link right here, goodcountry.org, and you can check out the results and see where Canadians stand. And then your final checkpoint. I'd like to know how you've been holding up the last month and a half. How's online learning going? I know a lot of your responses have been really good, but are you missing traditional education and hearing, my bad jokes every day, or seeing your friends or the girls in the office walking the hallways, or hanging out in Muns? just let me know how you're doing and what you've been up to. I'd love to know. Other than that, guys, we're cruising through. We're going to hit our food unit next week, and I have a couple of different ideas. I'm still weighing where we're going to go with that, but I think you guys will enjoy it. Uh, Other than that, if you could complete some checkpoints, you can complete a few of them, the entire unit, as most of you have been doing. Um, I talked to a lot of my teacher friends, and this course has some of the strongest response ratings. So that's a gold star for us. So thank you guys for all your hard work. And just so you know, this online learning platform is probably something that is going to happen more and more, and we don't know what might even happen in September with all this COVID stuff. So the work that you're doing with online learning is not only are you getting some valuable content, but you're learning how to learn on a different platform, which is very important as you guys continue your education down the road. Um, Anyway, I'll let you go and have a great week. And drop me a line if you need anything at all. I'm just an email away. Okay. Bye bye.